Well, folks, I am back. You know why I'm back? So I can rant. That's right. I want to rant. So, uh, you know, I don't really watch the YouTube videos. Some I do. Not don't have enough time to watch them like I'd like to. But I see a lot of these headlines, clickbait bullshit, and a bunch of other stuff. And of course, it's all out there. You know, oh, after you got 4 days, you got 21 days, you got a month. Boy, the end's here. The end is here. Oh, it's happening right now. It's crashed. It's already crashed. You hear all the. It's just hysterical, is what it is. I mean, hysterical, like laughing, funny, haha. It's that late already at night, and people are still calling me. Probably should have answered that one. Might have cattle out somewhere. I might have to go chase cattle in the middle of the night through cornfields. Uh, I'll call them back. I mean, what the hell's a few minutes? I mean, if they're running around on cornfields already, what the hell's a few more minutes? Anyways, damn near midnight. So anyhow, oh yeah, all these people out here, getting hysterical, and I mean, I call it hysterical like funny because it's like, man, just think if something ever really did happen. I mean, they just go insane. It'd be, hide, get ready, get your pillow, hide under the bed or whatever they got, closet, I don't know. But an image just popped in my head. They probably took like a 55-gallon barrel and cut the top off and buried it in the ground, and they'll climb inside of that and pull a I don't know, a 4x8 sheet or a pallet over it. That's their bunker. I don't know. I suppose it's better than nothing. But no, these people, they're going to go insane if something does happen, and YouTube will just go bonkers. You're not going to believe half of probably about nothing of what you hear and nothing of what you see. It's going to be crazy. I mean, it's getting crazy now if you've watched it. So, anyhow, and the other thing too is, you're constantly hearing, NATO and the U.S. bases are on high alert, and Russia's going to attack any second. And the Beijing Chinaman guy, he's worried now because the greatest super vessel of the whole world showed up out of nowhere over there. It's like, really? Just poof, right? Shows up out of nowhere. It takes how long to get over there? And poof, it just shows up out of nowhere. Right, exactly. I mean, come on. That's what I'm saying. It's like these people are insane. They're crazy. Man, the fear level. They're just trying to go over the top. And what I also like too is you watch some of these guys in their opening, I don't know, whatever you call it, opening of their channel or whatever, the little whatever. They're walking through the woods with their assault weapon and their assault gear, with their war paint on and their glasses, their hats. The gun is all decked out with all kinds of stuff. The weapon is decked out, man. Even even the handgun pistols and stuff are all decked out with everything. Boy, you got, man, it's like you probably got an automatic ass wiper on there too, you know. Just don't shoot your balls off. If you have any. So, anyways, I shouldn't have said that, but I did. But it's funny because obviously these guys haven't seen combat. Because you don't want all this shit on your gun. You don't want it on your weapon. Okay? You don't want it. Keep it simple and light. Now, it depends what you're, where you're at and what you're doing and what your position is and classification and a whole bunch of other stuff here. I mean, if you're a sniper, you're going to have a damn fine weapon and you're going to have another guy with you normally and, you're going to have a nice scope, but the whole 9 yards. But most of the time when you're just running through the jungle and woods and stuff like that, simple, light. Because, I mean, you figure the gun's, 5-6 pounds. Then they put another 5-6 pounds or more on it with a whole bunch of junk. So you weight it down good. And then you drop it, you can break something off of it. And or you get tangled in something because it's got all this crap all over it. It gets tangled up in stuff and things. It's like, and then they carry all this gear like the cops do. It's like, you're not quick, you're not maneuverable. You want to move quick, swift, quick. Have the bare minimum you need. I mean, they've taught you survival techniques, how to capture and catch and fish and little animals, squirrels and rabbits and stuff. I mean, you can be pretty stealthy and catch things. But the way these guys are, I mean, and of course, you'll probably have a MRE or two on them or some snacks or something. But the heaviest thing you're carrying is your ammo. And add that in with the rest of it. Your ammo's, But anyways, you understand what I'm saying. It's like this, you watch him and you're like, that guy's a joke. Boy, he's good. Whew, man, look at that. He's good. He's got his pistol up. It's like, dude, you're going to be the first one dead. Your tactics are to get you killed. You're going to be the first person out there dead. I mean, come on, man. It just amazes me. Everybody's an expert. I was watching this other guy, what's his name? Bear something. Bear. I don't know. I can't remember the other part of it. But anyways, I mean, don't get me wrong. These guys are probably nice guys. Okay, I mean, you sit down, if I can have a few with them and stuff, probably nice guys and stuff. Some of them are just probably arrogant as shit. Think, oh, they know this, they know that, blah 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 blah. Well, I don't think they've ever been baptized yet, and that's okay. They'll find out the hard way. What I always find out interesting too is best battle to be in is no battle at all. I mean, somebody breaks into your house, first thing you always do is what? If you got a wife goes gets the kids, they all kind of huddle up over in the room. You know which room they're in. Get that door locked. puts something in front of the door, and the husband, he just goes find the next dark corner, waits. He'll go searching through the house, find a dark corner where he can't be seen. That some bitch comes walking through there, you empty a clip in his chest. You don't look for him. You don't go hunting for him. Say, let him come to you. Let your enemy come to you. You don't go out there trying to clear and all this and that shit. You take casualties that way. I mean, sometimes you have to, but most of the time it's not. MacArthur. Okay. They called them the MacArthur touch. When he went into the Philippines and all that, the Japanese, Chinese, they're all there. But anyways, Koreans and that, they huddled in the island, okay? And all he did was cut off the islands. He just jump over, cut off the islands. Nothing comes in, nothing goes out. And eventually, he said starvation was his friend. So he starved them out. He didn't have to go in and clear the place out. These people were begging to become prisoners. By the time they saw anybody, they were just wanting to give up. And that's the way you like it. See, and that's what's going to do to the American people. You're going to beg to give up. You're going to beg to be in prison. You're going to beg to be a slave. Because they're going to pull that with you. They're going to take you to that point. You just got to be a little more rugged and like your forefathers. That's why you're here. Your forefathers didn't have electricity. They didn't have this bullshit thing here. None of this stuff. They have cars. Hell, before they tamed horses, they had feet. They used them. They didn't even have hush puppies. So they walked. In all climates. And they survived. That's why you're here. That's why you don't give up. No matter where you're at, you should be able to survive. It's not going to be pleasant. It's not going to be easy. But you can do it if you want to. You got to have the right mindset. That's your mind's most of it. Your mindset. You gotta have some skill too, but if you go back to some of my older videos, I talk about this stuff. But just remember, when the shit hits the fan, really hits the fan, keep your head, keep your cool. Don't be running around, and think you gotta carry your weapons on you. I mean, like, I got my gun, blah. Most of the time, your cowboys, they carry their 6-shooter on the side. Rifles over there on a horse leaning against a tree or something like that. They usually use their 6-shooter to get to their rifle. That's all it was. It wasn't so much, let's take the guy out at 100 yards with my handgun. There was guys that could probably do it. There were guys that were good. But they usually used to get to their rifle to make it easier. So, I mean, anybody that carries knows it's a pain in the ass most of the time. It's a pain. I mean, if you carry and you sit on your ass a lot and shoot your fucking mouth off and It's easy. But if you actually go out and work and do things, it's a pain in the ass. So that's what I'm saying. Most of these guys are jokes. Might be nice guys and such, but most of them are jokes. You know, even the best of the best died. Even the best of the best gunfighters died. There's always somebody that came along at a certain time, at a certain point, certain day, and somebody's just that much faster that day, or that person was under the weather that much, and they just weren't on the top, weren't on the top of their game, and they'd lose. And that's why when you run around shooting your damn mouth off, it's like, don't. Nothing wrong with having, thinking, you're skilled and you have some ability and such and so forth. But don't run around like you're cocky arrogant, like, oh, yeah, come at me, boy, I'll show you. I'll pity the fool, Well, you might be the one that's the fool. So I haven't told you anything here that's not true. You want to travel light. You want to travel quick, swift. You don't want to overload yourself. I mean, I've gone into that before. It's just like that one guy, Canadian prepper. Oh, I left. I'm out here on my homestead farm, and I'm using my tractors, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. Well, hey, that's great, wonderful. Okay, let's say shit does hit the fan. You try to use fuel. Doesn't matter. There's lots of different fuels tractors will run on, depending on the tractors and the years and so on and so forth. But they use fuel. You're just going to pick up and say, hey man, I need 1,000 gallon of diesel. I need 1,000 gallon of gasoline. How about kerosene? Ain't gonna be nobody on the end of that phone. So a lot of your crops out there, man, you are gonna get up in the morning before the sun, and you're gonna go in after the sun goes down. All you're gonna do is picking and harvesting and chopping. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of work. You think you work out and lift weights and run and do all these great things, which is good. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I mean, that's good if you do. You should be commended for doing so. But you go out there and start doing that stuff all day long, you're going to find out what work is. You're going to find out what tired is. You're going to find out how good your cardio is. You're going to find out a lot of things. You're going to find out what you really are made of. But our forefathers did this. Remember the cotton gin that came along? Yep. That's just one example. Made things a whole lot quicker. It only got better. The roto baler. Matter of fact, I think I still have one. Probably sitting in a building somewhere, but Alice Chalmers roto bale. Just canvas and made these little, maybe so big around, just roll them tight, put up on the ground. You just go pick them up, throw them on a flatbed, hay rack, whatever. And yeah, that was back in the 50s, if I remember right. Well, mine is, anyways. I think it's back in the mid 50s, early mid 50s. I can't remember exactly. But it still runs off the PTO. Still takes gasoline to power it. And you still got to go pick all the stuff up. It's not like a big round baler or a big square baler where you're going to have something like a skid steer or something with a forks on it, or a bucket or something on it, or forks on the back. I'm not going to get it all that, but it still takes fuel to pick those things up. Roto baler, well, they're small enough. Same thing with small squares. You could pump right on the ground if you want to, or have a kicker and kick them back into the rack. You could do that too, but you still got to move them by hand. Still got to stack them and put them inside. So, yeah, I mean, it's great and wonderful to have tractors and oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and it's wonderful. But when the shit hits the fan, you didn't think things out real well. Get a couple draft horses, or ox, or something like that. If you don't know the Amish or Mennonites or somebody like that, you better be good friends with them. Because you also got to learn how to train these things. You're going to have to learn how to repair harnesses. There's a lot of stuff in I mean, there's so many things you're going to have to learn to do. You got to make sure their hoofs and take care of their hoofs and stuff. If it's important. You have to clean the rocks out and such. And that may be a 2, 3, 4 time thing a day. It depends on what your soil's like and what the conditions are and so on and so forth. But yeah, you got to take care of your animals. Your animals come first. You brush them down, you get them fed, the whole 9 yards, and then maybe you go eat. Your animals come first. It was like years ago, you put a barn up. What got water first? The house or the barn? The barn. What got electricity first? The house or the barn? The barn. That's where the money's made. That's how you take care of stuff. That's how you do things. It was just convenient in the house. Out there, it was actually a necessity it became a necessity for productivity and so on and so forth, make your life a little easier. But yeah, so people sit here and say, "Oh, I'm out farming. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that." Okay, great, wonderful. But did you think it through very well? How many acres you got? How many acres you running? I mean, are you an old tractor with a 2 or 3 bottom plow? And you know how long it takes to do 40 acres? It ain't moving very fast either. Then you're still gonna have to disc it up. Yeah. And depending on what you're doing, you might have to cull to mulch it. But yeah, it's always interesting. So, like I said, the system that we're in right now today, what's coming is not going to resemble what it is here. It's going to be totally different. Something totally new. The best thing you can hope for, and I mean, I'm serious when I say this, the best thing you can hope for is this country collapses and you have no government. Because government is your problem. Because government, they'll organize and they'll just come in and take what they want. They'll kill you and take what they want. Oh, you'll have some other people out there that'll do the same thing. But you're also going to have some people out there that'll be like, well, hey, we're doing okay. We'll send a couple guys out maybe and see who we can come across in other areas here. And hopefully, they'll be peaceful enough that, and we could work things out with other little communities around. And we can all band together if we need to help each other. And we can also trade amongst ourselves and make life easier on us too. And we're all not going to be animals. going to be a lot of them that just want to go out there and just take. They don't want to work. They don't want to be productive. They're just going to want to come out and take your stuff. You'll have that. So yeah, think about it. Just think about it. Think about what works for you. A lot of people think, oh, I'll have a greenhouse. Great. Greenhouses are wonderful. But anybody has a set of binoculars or anything like that, they're going to scope the area out first before they come in. They're going to watch it. Anybody with any brain's going to do their recon. They're not going to come in the first day or two. They'll watch and see what the routines are, see how many people are men and so forth there. Who's carrying, who's not. They'll be waiting. And they'll keep it quiet. And if they keep it quiet, usually it's a silenced something and a knife. So you won't know what's going on. But by the time you figure it out, half your people are already dead. I don't mean to be an alarmist, but you got to be practical about these things. That's why you're always better off with a buddy type system. Don't send people out by themselves. Send them out with someone. You're usually better off. You send out with 3 people, well, that's even better. Because that could have spread them thin too. And you'll probably hear what's going on pretty quick. So anyways, folks, I just figured I'd get on here and rant a little bit about the craziness I'm seeing. And if something really does happen, it's just like, oh my, it's like right now, Chicken Little and the sky is falling, okay? And when something does really happen, these people are going to lose their minds. I'm a Canadian prepper. Oh, I'm already bugged out to wherever. It's like, well, that's good. That's fine. That's your choice. You got a family to take care of and think about and so on and so forth. And I didn't watch all his videos, but he went out with some training with some guy, and blah, blah, blah. He found out it's not so easy. Especially when being shot back at. Especially when return fire. Yeah. Everybody's a tough guy until you get punched in the face. Oh no, I shouldn't have said. Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. And that's true. Some people, like Bear, oh, you punched me in the face, boy, you'll be sorry you ever did it. You won't live through it, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, dude. Whatever. There's graves all around this world with tough guys in it. All around this world. Like I said, you'd be the toughest guy in the world. And if you go back and watch my old videos, but you know what? The tiniest little thing you can't see, you got me barely seeing a microscope, can set the biggest, toughest, baddest person on his back, on his deathbed. A lot of good that does you then, doesn't it? They'll release chemicals and agents on you and so on and so forth. You think they're just gonna let you run around out here? Well, no, they'll sprinkle the sky with things and maybe drop a few things here and there, canisters. You just don't know what they're gonna do. Biologics will be name of the game. Try to make you as sick as you can be or kill you first. Then when they walk in, roll in, it's not a fight. So, run around, think you're great, think you're wonderful. Like I've always said, you got to be right with God. Prepare. Prepare your soul. Prepare yourself to meet your Father. Put your faith in Him. That's what it's about. It's not about going out and doing all this other rotten bullshit. It's about honoring Father, treating thy neighbor as thyself, and following His moral laws. So, everybody's Rambo. Everybody's Rambo. I think that's funny. So anyhow, too, and the fact of the matter is everybody gets older too. You know, there's a lot of people out there, they're still good. Not in their prime like they were good, but they're still good enough to hold their own. Maybe not like they used to, but against somebody that's a wannabe and stuff, yeah, you shouldn't have any trouble. Shouldn't have any trouble. So y'all take care.